Hello there, Aries. Thank you so much for stopping by for your monthly in-depth tarot forecast. This is a little bit lengthier. I am breaking it down into separate time frames, 4 separate time frames, so that you can check those out each as you go along if you want to, or you can watch the whole thing all the way through. That's going to be up to you. But I think that it's important to really kind of follow the flow of the energy as it moves through the month, instead of having just like one overarching thing for how many days are in September, for 30 days. That seems a little ridiculous to me. So let's look at things more in depth. And if you don't want to just hang out while I'm shuffling and putting cards down, feel free to go ahead and scroll ahead to where I start telling you all about what I am seeing on the table. I'm cool with that. Some people do like to witness the whole card scenario, so if you're one of those, that's fine too. That's why I leave this part still in the video, just for you. Okay, let's take a peek. The first thing that we're going to start with, Aries, is going to be your environment. And this is your environment for September 1st through the 8th. Everything that we're looking at right now is going to be for September 1st through the 8th, no matter what kind of tense I use as far as timing for verbs or whatever, unless I tell you that there is a delay or a wait, then that may be happening after this time frame. But generally we're looking at right now being September 1st through the 8th. Okay? So, what do we have going on with your environment? And remember, environment is any place you have energy or effort invested. Normally it's home, but it could be some other place as well. So you want to be kind of open-minded as you're hearing about this to figure out where we're talking about for you. So Aries, September 1st through 8th, it looks to me like you're not really making a lot of plans with the current environment that you have. All right, so you're not planning on being there long term, or you're not making a lot of plans about changing anything long term. I think there are some things that are happening right now in the present, and I think that you may actually be either getting rid of something that's in your environment or actually leaving your environment and moving to a different one. And I feel like that's happening. Chop, chop. You may have been waiting. There may have been something that was holding you back that you were waiting for before. That is coming through at some point between September 1st through 8th, and that's going to allow you to move forward. Because I feel like the current environment that where we see you in the beginning of this time frame is not one that you plan on keeping the same, or plan on one that you're planning on staying in. Okay? And I think that you are separating from this environment completely by the end of that time frame. Okay. Alrighty, I think we covered that pretty well. Let's look next at subconscious leanings for you guys during this time frame. Okay, I think you're pouring out a lot of energy and effort and finances towards something that you love or something that you're excited about. Okay, so this can be a relationship, or this can be a thing or a place that you're excited about, but there's something that you're so happy with this thing that you're willing to pour out as many finances as it takes, or as much effort as it takes to move forward with this thing. And that's what your subconscious is working on. How much am I having to pour out to make this thing happen? All right. And that could be about the move. You may be looking at how much finances do I have to have if I am moving into a new place, or if I am changing something completely at the old place. All right. Next thing we're looking at tells me about 2 things. Tells me about learning style and also communication style. We are going to look at learning style first. Ooh. You have a lot of information coming to you during this time frame, Aries, that is gossip. This is little birds in the ear telling you things, keeping you up to date on information telling you about things that they think that you might like to know about. And I don't think that you're necessarily asking for this information either. I think they've just decided you would like to know, so they're going to tell you. Also, what else do we have going on with learning style? You are learning more about money, about financial things. I think we might have seen this for you last month. I know there was a couple of signs that this came up for last month pretty strongly during a couple of the segments. I think you might have been one of them. Anyway, we do see you learning about money and financial stuff and how things work financially for some type of particular situation. Yeah, and I think you're learning about focusing on, you're focusing on something, and you're figuring out how to focus on something and get the results that you want. Okay, and you may even be working with other people to get the results that you want as well. Now let's look at your communication style. The first thing that I'm going to say about your communication style is that it is well-grounded during this time frame. Now when I say well-grounded, what that means is that your communication is not flip-flopping. It's not something that's out there confusing anybody. People can definitely understand what it is you're saying. All right? I think that you may be the only way I know how to say this is you may be trying to come off really educated. You're using big words. Okay? I think you're using your most educated big words in some of your communications that you're having. And I think that there is a lot going on too where you are, I think you're communicating something in somewhat of a competitive nature with some of the people in your life. So there is this essence of competitive communication. So you may be bidding on something. Maybe you're bidding on a project or a job, and you're trying to make sure that the potential client understands what a great value you're giving them and what quality work you're putting into their situation if they would bid on you, or if they would take your bid. So I think those are the two main things that come up to me as far as your communication style during this time frame. All right, what are we looking at next? Next thing we're looking at is work. Workity work, work, work. If you guys haven't been following me a while, I'm just going to tell you, work is two things to me. I am a little bit different on that. I see work as that thing that we do to make a living or to feel productive in the community. And I also see it as that thing that we do to improve our own character, to make us more happy with who we are as individuals. So, looking first at how you make a living, I feel like you're feeling like your pay is pretty darn good. It looks like there has been some struggle or some debate at work. It looks like that has come to an end. And it looks like there's been some kind of fear about work that you've had to take a look at and face, and I think that is no longer something that makes you shake in your boots, so to speak. I don't think you're afraid of whatever this was in the past anymore. You're overcoming that sometime between September 1st through 8th, and things are becoming more peaceful at work. People are getting more into their regular routine of how things are supposed to be. Okay, let's look at inner work. For a lot of you Aries, I think there's some kind of thing where either you or somebody else in your sphere of influence has been dealing with some type of addiction. And I think you've come to the point where you've just quit fighting about it. You may have quit fighting about it because this person is coming into a space and time where they are not giving in to this addiction or this obsession, whichever it may be. And so you guys aren't having to fight about it because they're not giving into it. They're overcoming that, for at least for the moment. And I think that is allowing you guys to create some good times together. If this is about somebody else or if this is about you, this is allowing you to create some good times for yourself. You know, possibly with other people, doesn't have to be But the whole idea that this addiction is something that you're not caving into, or that this other person in your sphere of influence is not caving into, is definitely having a positive impact on your life and on the relationship, because there's a lot more peace and acceptance there of each other. All right, next. Where did you go? Trying to get you out of screensaver. Okay, next, Aries, what we're looking at is that part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now. It looks to me like you're taking some kind of break to think things over and to figure out where you stand on a particular situation. And it looks to me like you're kind of thinking that you're ready to come out and talk to somebody about this situation, but at the same time, there's still some resistance. You're still resisting that idea, and so I think you're continuing this break onward. I think that you see benefit in just holding off, not rushing back out after you've thought things through, but giving yourself a little extra time to think things through before you actually communicate with this other person. And I think what's holding you back is this idea that maybe things won't go so well if you rush out and communicate with this person. Maybe you want to look at this really good and take a double look and a triple look before you come out and say how you really feel about this, or what your true perspective is about this, and before you move forward based on that true perspective. The other thing that comes up too is I think that you have some good memories with this other person from the past, and I think that because of those good memories, I think you may be deciding that you want to move forward without them, but those memories are still holding you back. Like you're remembering, well, we had such good times though, I'm just not sure. And so I don't see you really communicating just yet. You're not feeling sure about what you really want to do, even after thinking things over well and again well. All right. Let's see what else is happening. Things that you stand for. Aries. Here's the thing. You have a lot of people that you care about. Okay? You have multiple people that you care about. Let's say that. And I think that you are trying to be fair with everybody that you care about. And somebody has confronted you on this. Now, I don't know which angle that they've confronted you on this about. Are they somebody that you care about, that you're trying to be fair with, and they're wishing that they had more time or more of your attention from you? Is this somebody from the outside saying, hey, you're spreading yourself way too thin, why don't you narrow the field here of people that you're trying to do so much for? But somebody is coming at you about this. They're saying, hey, how come you're trying to be fair with so many people? How can you do that? So you're having to defend that. You're having to stand up for that in your life. And then how does this other person see you? They see you as somebody who is single and independent, self-sufficient. They also see you as somebody who really is not necessarily feeling like supporting other people. And they're seeing you as somebody who is also forgiving and letting go. They're seeing you as letting go of things from the past. This kind of makes sense. They're seeing you as letting go of things from the past. They're seeing you as not necessarily feeling like being creative and uplifting to everybody in your sphere of influence. And they're seeing you as somebody who is more independent, self-sufficient. Not a lot of people are bolstering you up or helping you move forward. And so this is probably somebody who's saying, why do you still care about all these people? They, you have to forgive them. That means they did some things to you that weren't so cool. Why are you still trying to be fair with them? Why are you still trying to work with them? Isn't this idea that you had to forgive them enough to say, you know what, I need to let go of this? So that's where this other person is coming from in that. All right. Now we're going to look at the pivot point or the flex point, which is where things start to change for this particular time frame. And September 1st through 8th, we're looking at, this is about a week and a day. It starts on a Tuesday and ends on, it goes all the way through the next Tuesday. Okay, so pivot point during this time frame. We have somebody showing up from the past during this time frame. And this person that's showing up from the past, they aren't really wanting to necessarily collaborate with you. Maybe they just want to take a trip down memory lane. I think you're happy to see them. I think you have good memories with them. But I think that this person that shows up from the past really isn't hopeful of you guys getting back on the same level that you used to be before, whether this is a friend or whether this is an ex-lover or whatever situation. Maybe it's even a family member that you guys used to be tight. And this person is, even though they're showing up from the past, they don't have a whole lot of expectations. Okay? At the same time that this person is showing up from the past without much an expectation, somebody that you're happy to hear from, there is a little something going on. Is this Aries or somebody else? You have somebody else who's in your sphere of influence. That I think you really need to be a little bit careful of. Okay? This is somebody who's made some kind of rash decision without all the information that they really needed. And they're coming to you and they're saying, hey, you've got the go-ahead. This is either going to be we can work together on a project that is inspiring and happiness-making, or this is going to be saying you've got the go-ahead to work on this project that is inspiring or happiness-making. The problem here is they haven't gathered all the information before they made this decision and they came to you and said, let's go ahead, or go ahead with this. So you want to be careful about this. You want to question this. You want to make sure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted before you jump into this. Because I feel like if you jump into this project, because this person made this decision rashly, whatever energy and work that you put into this is going to be down the tubes shortly. Within 2 weeks is what I feel like. So make sure if somebody's giving you the go-ahead that they know what they're talking about and that they have really thought this through, checked through with everybody they need to, all of that good stuff, before you find that you've wasted some time and energy on something that you're not going to get any benefit from because this joker was an idiot. Okay? Because they're going to make you look like an idiot if you don't pay attention. Now, what else is going on while this person from the past is coming back? There is a sense of finding some healing emotionally. Okay? Finding some emotional healing from a third-party situation. All right, where somebody I'm going to say where somebody had a problem that they didn't know how to handle, so the easiest thing for them to do was run away from it. And so there is some healing going on here. It may have actually been, for some of you Aries, I feel like this was actually you that just ran from the problem. With that third-party situation, you just said, not dealing with this, I'm out. Outie, out, out. And just ran away from it. There's some kind of healing that comes up emotionally during this time frame, the same time frame that somebody comes back from the past. This person that's coming back from the past, they may be tied in with this healing. They don't have to be, but they could be. I could see how that could happen easily. I really don't think that this healing would be tied up with this idiot that's telling you to move forward on something that they haven't really done their due diligence on. I don't see it tied to that. I don't see that much of a possibility. You're not going to get healing out of a situation like that. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so where do we see you at the end of this time frame, Aries? What's going on here? There's something going on where you're feeling really confused about something. And when I say really confused, this is the High Priestess in reverse. And the High Priestess in reverse is my person who really kind of knows everything. You know, she's the psychic. If she wants information, all she has to do is ask. And so when the High Priestess comes in upside down, you don't know. I'm just going to use something that's kind of crude. It's old country saying. You don't know your own ass from a hole in the ground at this point, okay? That's how confused I'm seeing you being here, all right? And because of this confusion, you're not doing what it takes to make your money work. You're not bringing in the income, or you are spending all the money that you're making and you're blowing your budget. Because that confusion, this is kind of your response to that confusion. Oh, let me do some shopping therapy. Oh, let me spend money on this. If I have an addiction, let me feed that addiction. Because I can't sort this problem out over here because I don't understand it. Okay, so there's something going on where your budget isn't working because of that confusion. It's a direct result of that confusion. And it's also making you put up boundaries between yourself and other people. Why? Because you don't like other people to know you're confused, number one. And number two, because you're not really proud of the fact that you're doing a number on your budget and you don't really feel like letting people know. So now, not only are you confused, not only are you racking your budget, now you're isolating yourself from people who care about you. So, the beauty of these readings, if you get them ahead of time, is if you see this energy coming in and this is not really your best choice or what you want to do, you do have free will. You can change your reactions. You can change how you handle things. Okay, so you're confused. Maybe that's the time to be talking to some of those people that care about you so that you can get some clarity or different perspectives on it. And maybe when you're confused is the best time to be sticking to your budget instead of blowing it because you don't know what's coming next. Just saying. So if you find yourself getting confused, you want to react a little differently than what the old normal is. You want to do a shift. You want to do an energy shift here. Okay? You don't want to go into that old behavior or those old patterns. You want to do something different. You don't want to isolate. You want to get help from other people who may understand. And by having that, maybe you won't feel this need to blow your budget or to not work. Okay? So that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. I'm encouraging you guys to make my cards wrong. There are times when every reader wishes they were wrong. This is one of them. Okay? So, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to take a break. I'll come back, and then we'll hit the next section of September. And for now, I'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you for being here. Welcome back, Aries. This time we are going to be hitting the time frame from September 9th through September 16th. Just see what is going on in your world during that time frame. Whoop, whoop. Let's see what's happening. See what's new in your environment. I have a feeling we're going to see something completely new in your environment, and hopefully wunderbar, or wonderful, as the Germans would say. Wunderbar, wunderbar. There we go. All right. Let's put down some cards. put down some cards. Okay, Aries, let's take a peek at what's going on. What's going on? All right, we're going to start with your environment. What's happening with your environment? You are taking over your environment. You're the only person that is showing up here. And you're showing up as being pretty victorious and pretty happy here. This environment may not be everything you need it to be just yet. This may not exactly be someplace that you want to bring company just yet. And I think that things are changing slowly in your environment, but I still can't get away from this energy that you're feeling very happy and very enthusiastic about your environment. Now remember, your environment for the purpose of these readings is any place you have energy or effort invested, usually home, not always. Okay, so we're done looking at environment. Let's look next at subconscious leanings for Aries, September 9th through 16th. Oh, this is beautiful. I do think that in your subconscious you are thinking about somebody who is very much able to express their emotions, very much very familiar, very comfortable with their emotions. So they're able to express them, they're able to keep them away from other people, not show them. They just have control over their emotions. And so there's somebody like this that's in your subconscious. You're thinking about making some kind of offer, some kind of communication to this person. And it looks to me like you want to know if they're going to give you some kind of opportunity or some kind of chance. And so in your subconscious, you're working out, how am I going to word this offer? How am I going to word this? Is it an offer or is it a request? It kind of feels like it's a little bit of both mixed together, Aries. So you're working that out in your subconscious. I think that's pretty exciting. Something exciting to think about. Let's look next at learning style and also communication style. Learning style. I think you're being very sober in your learning style. You're not messing around. You're getting serious when you're trying to pick up information or do research, find out what you need to know about some type of situation. I do think there could very much be some formal learning that's happening during this time frame for you. So some type of orientation or seminar or class that's going on, maybe even at school. I guess we do have schools opening up. Maybe this would be about the right time. And I think that you're actually learning a lot through the people that you're associating with, through your support network as well. Now let's look at communication. Looks like there is somebody that you're talking to quite a bit after dark. After dark. This could be along the lines of romantic or sizzling type of communication. Doesn't have to be, but very easily could be. I think you are trying to set up some kind of structure or some kind of foundation in your communications with other people. This could be about that formal learning that we have going on too, that those communications are very structured and cover very particular things. And then what else do we have for communication style? I think there's some people that you normally would communicate with a lot more that you don't have as much time to talk to them right now. You've got a lot going on. You're learning a lot and you've got a lot going on. And so you just don't have as much time as you used to in this particular time frame. Not saying that's the way it's going to be forever, and I don't feel like you've cut them out because you don't want to talk to them. It's just that that's not the highest priority right now. You have other higher priority things that you're taking care of. Let's look at work. Workity work, 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 work. You've got some interesting things going on when I'm looking at work. I don't feel like you're manifesting a whole lot at work right now, Aries, but I do feel like you're learning. You're in the learning process of how to manifest things at work. So those more formal classes that we saw before, that could actually be some kind of orientation for work, or maybe you're being trained on a particular piece of equipment or something along those lines. But excuse me, during this time frame, I don't see a whole lot of work happening, but I do think that you are acquiring skills, learning something new that helps you to move forward productively in work in the future. Now, I also feel like, is this at work or is this just about work? There's somebody in your life, Aries, who is throwing a fit about your work. Something about your work has them really upset and aggravated with you. And I think they're letting you see it. But I am going to tell you, I think that picking up this new skill that you're picking up at work, I think that this is a relief to you. I think this orientation or this seminar or whatever it is, I think it's a big relief to you. I think that this information that you're picking up here is something that you may have wanted to have for a while. And just being able to have access to that information makes you feel like you're that more competent at your job and that much more confident, that much more less questions about what you're doing. I just feel like this information is an absolute relief. Too bad you've got somebody throwing a fit about that right in the middle of it. Darn it. Okay, Aries, let's look at inner work for you. Inner work for you right now really is focusing on learning the things that you want to learn. You're really focused on that. I feel like you almost don't even know what to tell the person who's having a fit about you taking this class or this seminar or whatever it is. You almost don't even know what to tell them, because I think that this person their reaction seems so far from being based in reality about anything that you just don't even know what to say. It's just like, I think it's more of a case of, this is the way it is, what do you want me to do type of situation here. Yeah, and I think that you enjoy learning new things. I think that you would be perfectly happy taking classes on a regular basis so that you could learn new things to advance yourself. I think that your inner work is all about focusing on this and making this the priority right now. And I think that this person who's throwing a fit that is, this could distract you. I think your inner work is to not pay attention, to that distraction, but to prioritize what you need to do for right now. That's your inner work. Not letting this person who's having a fit distract you from the purpose that you have at the moment. And how insensitive of them anyway. Honestly, when I look at that, like, how insensitive of them not to see that you have a good opportunity to move forward and not be supportive. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, let's look at that part of you that's growing or expanding during this particular time frame. By the way, I think this is just a week exactly, the 9th through the 16th. No, we're looking at 8 days again. This starts on a Wednesday and goes through the next Wednesday. Oh yeah, this month was kind of funky. I had to divide it up kind of funky, but we've got 4 sections. Anyway, during this time frame, what do we have going on? You're showing up in your own spread here as far as for how you're growing right now. La da da da. And I think you have a choice about what you want to do moving forward. And I think that you're very much taking control of that choice. I think that it looks to me like, here's what it looks like from these cards. It looks to me like somebody is trying to back you into a corner and force you to make a choice here. But that is not the choice that you want to make. Personally, I'm not saying that that's not a good choice. I'm just saying that that personally is not the choice that's your priority that you actually want to make right now. And I don't think you appreciate being backed into a corner. Nobody really does, do they? And especially an Aries. I mean, you guys are pretty much in charge. You like to be the ones that are in charge of the flow. So somebody's trying to back you into a corner about a decision here. And so you have a choice. Here's your choice. You have a choice of keeping the peace and doing what this other person wants you to do, preventing a devastating situation, which is what this other person is threatening. I think they're giving you an ultimatum, or choosing what is actually the priority to you, choosing what actually is important to you. That's your choice. Are you going to choose to give in to this other person's ultimatum? By the way, this other person does seem like Mr. or Ms. Selfish that just threw a fit because you were adding to your own skills and abilities and your own marketability in the workplace, your own value in the workplace, and they were throwing a fit. Seems like this is the same person here. So they want you to choose to do something their way, and it doesn't work for you. Or you have to choose whether you're going to do it their way and prevent a major shakeup, or you're going to do it your way and hold your way as the priority. And I don't mean in a selfish way. I just mean in a way that doesn't let you be rolled over with this, like a steamroller is going right over you with no say. And I think that this other person is not in a place where they want to negotiate. They're giving you this ultimatum. They're saying, it's my way or the highway, baby. And so you self-sacrifice to keep that person happy for the moment, or you choose yourself and you take the highway. This is the part of your personality that's growing or expanding right now. So here's the question to you, Aries. Are you going to grow and expand in a way that lets people continue to roll over you? Because you know if they roll over you this time, what's the trend? They're going to roll over you even more heavily the next time. Or are you going to choose self-preservation on the other hand? Which part of your personality are you going to expand? Lay down and let me roll over you? Or standing up for myself and taking care of business? Which one are you going to do, Aries? That's the question here. This is how you're growing or expanding. Which way are you going to grow? Something to think about. All right, while this is going on, or at least during this time frame, what is it that you stand for? You're being very logical during this time frame. You're looking at things from a logical standpoint. You're looking at what makes sense here. What makes sense here and what is outrageously insane. Because that's what you've got in front of you. Outrageously insane. So you're looking at this logically. You have a goal or a target that you want to reach, and you know that it's going to take more than just you to reach that goal or that target. At the same time, I think you're not having so much faith in the people that you thought would help you reach that goal or target anymore. And I think somebody's saying something to you about this. Well, you know, why are you still trying to reach that goal or target if you don't have faith in the people? And you're having to defend your position. And I'm not sure that you're coming from a very strong place of defense here, but you are defending it because you have this goal or you have this target, and you're just hoping to God that the people that are helping you with this goal or target are going to stay on track. Because you want this goal or target that bad. That you're willing to put up with people that are unreliable or questionable to work towards it. Sorry about that fly. I live in a rural area, and yeah, there's lots of them. All right. What does this other person think of you? They're seeing you as somebody who is taking the reins and really working on a project that not only benefits yourself, but also benefits other people as well. They see you as somebody who has that target or goal in sight. They see you as somebody who is going to reach that target or goal, but going to reach it with somebody that you don't really trust. You don't really trust. I think this person has faith in you to reach that target or goal whether you're working with somebody else or not. And I feel like this person sees that you're going to reach your target or goal even if you have to drag that other person kicking and screaming along with you. That's supposed to be helping you and supporting you. That's how the other person is viewing you. All right. This is definitely interesting, Aries. This is interesting. Okay, so let's see your flex point during the week, my dears. Flex point during the week for Aries. What on earth? What on earth? So Aries, you have some craziness happening here. Remember I said you were looking out for the cray-cray, trying to be illogical. Where did the logical go? I want to see the logical again. I'm worried about you. Okay? So what do we have? We have this energy of pulling away, of being separate, of some kind of separation coming up. And as this separation comes up, it comes up because somebody that you once really enjoyed, you're not really enjoying them so much anymore. They're not checking all your boxes and ticking all your talks. They're just not. Okay? That's the best way I know to say it. And yet, what do we see? We see you separate from them because you're not happy with them. And then we see you circle back around and come back to them anyway. And I don't think you like circling back around and coming back to them. You separated from them because you knew that's what it felt like you should do. I don't think you like the idea of turning right back around and coming back to them. Are you guys dealing with a magic man like Heart sings about? Or a witchy woman that has a spell on you? What's going on here? Why are you getting away from somebody when you know it's the best thing and coming back to them even though you know it's not a good idea? Why would you do that to yourself? Stop it. Come on, Aries. I'm seriously worried about you. I hope you did not cave to that ultimatum that we saw earlier. So what's going on in the middle of this cycle? What is going on in the middle of this cycle? You're getting some clarity. You're getting some real clarity out of the situation, I think. Excuse me. And you're understanding that there's competition out there. That you have to be on your best game possible because there is competition out there. And you're starting to realize that you're not alone. You're not on your own. There are people around you who will support you. Okay? What else is happening at this same time? There's a bad moon on the rise. You guys, have y'all heard that song? Bad Moon on the Rise. I think it's CCR. Creedence Clearwater Revival. This really talks to me about something like that. It looks to me like you're preparing. You kind of know there's a bad moon on the rise. You know some stuff is fixing to go down. And you're getting ready for it. And I think you're getting ready for it financially, and I think you're getting ready for it emotionally. You're building the barricade around your heart. You're getting your finances in order. Because I think that you sense that whatever's coming up could interrupt finances to a certain degree. I don't think it's going to stop them, but it's going to interrupt them to a certain degree. And so I think you're getting ready for that. You're preparing. Maybe that's why you came back. Maybe that's why you circled back to this person that you separated from. Maybe you felt like you couldn't make it without them just yet. And this doesn't have to be a romantic partner. This could be a business partner too. Where do we see you at the end of this time frame? Feeling really insecure. Really insecure. Maybe even dealing with some addictions to help you cope with the situation is what it looks like here. Some addictions or some obsessions. Now, what are addictions? Everybody knows the easy ones. Meth, coke, crack, cigarettes, alcohol. What are some other addictions? Workaholic. Playing video games obsessively or computer games obsessively. You're going into escape mode here. You're hitting an addiction or obsession, and you're going into escape mode because you're feeling incredibly insecure in this whole situation. And that's where you're finding your happiness. Right now, you're finding your happiness in the escape mode. That's what's going on here, Aries. Now, just like I said at the end of the last cycle, the beautiful thing about watching these ahead of time is that you can change the energy. You have free will, and free will can change anything. Okay? I don't believe that anything is predestined. I believe that we have free will, and it can change anything. So, you know, if you're not okay with hitting that escapism button to cope with a situation, then you know, you can do things differently. You can make sure that you don't end up in a situation where you feel like you have to hit an escape mechanism to cope. You can be thinking about, what can I do to make sure that I'm in the best situation possible coming up? Because that's what you need. You need to get yourself into a situation where you don't feel like you have to have some kind of addiction or some kind of obsession to escape from it. And that's what I'm highly encouraging you to do, my honey bunnies. Plan ahead for how you're going to handle situations like this so that you don't feel forced into a situation that you don't like and then find yourself using coping mechanisms that you're not all that proud of. Okay? Be very proactive with your life instead. All right? So that's what I have for you, Aries. Let me go ahead and wrap this up, take a little break, reset my energy after that, and then come back and look at your next time segment. See you soon. Okay, Aries, are you ready for me again? We're going to be looking at the time frame from September 17th to the 23rd. This is exactly a week, but it starts on Thursday and ends on Wednesday, so 7 days, September 17th through the 23rd. Let's see what's going on in your world. All right, Aries. Take a little sip here, excuse me. And we're going to start with your environment as usual. Any place where you have energy or effort invested. What do we have going on here? You have decided to make some changes in your environment. Oh, yes, you have. And those changes are going to allow you to be more focused and less scattered in your energy. So making changes in your environment so that you won't be as distracted and have your energy scattered all over. You'll be able to focus on those things that are your priority. Woot, 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 woot. Okay, next thing we're looking at is your subconscious leanings during this time frame, Aries. So it looks like you're thinking about a time whenever you were together with somebody, whether this was a strong friendship, whether this was a romantic connection, maybe even a business partnership. But you're also thinking about a time that you walked away from this togetherness, whatever this was, this attraction, and now, even though you're an independent person and you're doing well on your own, you're missing that connection that you had, that you put down. And so your subconscious is really working with that in your mind about, well, what am I going to do about that? Okay. Next thing we have here, Aries, talks about two different things, your learning style and also your communication style. So looking at your learning style, it almost looks to me like you're closed off to new information. It looks to me, Aries, like there is something in your life during this time frame that you've already made up your mind on, and you're just closed off to any new information. Any new information that's coming in that doesn't line up with what you already think, not acceptable. You're not learning that. You're not picking that up. It's almost like you have blinders on. The information that you have is the right information as far as you're concerned, and nothing else will do, and you're not even going to tolerate hearing anything else. That's what I think. That's what it looks like here. That's your attitude. As far as your communications are definitely, well, first let me back up. I think that you're communicating with someone, and I think you're having a long conversation with this person during this time frame, maybe a couple of them. But I don't see like communication on every day with this particular person, whoever this main person is for you to communicate with during this time. But during those conversations, I do feel like your communication is going to be very much to the point, straight. There won't be any dancing around the mulberry bush. You're just going to be telling it the way it is. And I think that this is going to be very emotional interactions when you have these. Now, I can't imagine that these are the only interactions that you're going to be having during this time frame, but these seem to be the most important ones that are showing up here. Okay? La da 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 da. All right, let's look at work. So for work, it looks like there's something old about work that you're going back to, and I don't think you're so thrilled to go back to it. But at the same time, you're not thrilled to go back to it. You are hopeful that you can go back to it and that you can move forward with it. It's almost like you're going back to maybe an employer that you worked for before, or maybe you're going back to a way of doing work for the same company that you used to do in the past. You really like the idea because it does feel like it's going backwards, but at the same time, you're just hopeful that you can get the opportunity to do that and to move forward in that way. I think that even though this seems like stepping backwards, I think you're grateful for the opportunity, even if it is stepping backwards. Temporarily. I think it's very much temporarily stepping backwards for you. Ba-bum, bum, bum, bum. Okay, let's look at inner work. Your inner work is to stay very solid and grounded and very focused on those targets and goals that you have right now. And I think your inner work is also to remind yourself to celebrate the little things as they come up and to not, how do I want to say this? I think it's going to be very tempting for you during this time frame to be looking at where your ambitions are and to kind of feel sorry for yourself that you're not in that place yet. And because you're not in that place yet, all the little victories along the way to that place, I think you're going to kind of miss the victorious parts that come along. And you're going to have a hard time celebrating the little victories that build up to you getting to the goal that you want. And so this is really saying, you know, try to pay attention. Try to pay attention to those little victories, because enjoying those little victories is what gets you to where you actually want to be. So that's the inner work. That whole attitude of gratitude deal. Okay. Next, we're looking at lesson or experience as you go through this particular time frame. There is a particular collaboration in your life that is bringing you heartache. And I think that you just don't know what to do about this. You don't know how to make things better here. I don't get the impression that you want to leave the collaboration, but I think you would like to make it happier. And I think where you're growing and expanding as far as personality-wise here is in that fumbling around, trying to figure out what makes this better, learning how to improve that situation is where you're growing and expanding right now. All right. La da da da, Aries. Next thing. What are you standing up for? Ooh, there you are, right in the center of that grouping. Aries, you're being very picky. And you are waiting for something. You're biding your time, sitting back, just waiting for the right time, for the right opportunity to come along. I think that you are definitely dealing with some disappointments. I see that here in this spread. But at the same time that you're dealing with those disappointments, I don't think you're letting them really faze you. I think you're just kind of going, yep, that's not the time to do what I want to do. This is not the time for my opportunity yet. Nope, this is not the time for my opportunity yet. And then once the disappointments start coming and you stop coming, and then you get the opportunity that slides in where those disappointments have been sliding in, you're going to pounce on that opportunity. You're waiting for it. You're expecting it. You know it's coming. And you're ready for it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So that's what you stand for. How do other people see you right now? They see you as jaded, basically. What do we have here? They feel like somebody has shown their true colors to you and you're not impressed. You're less than impressed, let's say. Not only that, not only are you less than impressed, you're actually very focused on letting them know just how less than impressed you are. That's how other people see you right now. You're not going to let them think that things might just be a little bit okay. No, that's not happening. You're definitely letting them know, look, buddy, I know you can do better than that. That was ridiculous. All right, Aries. Let's look at your flex point during this time frame. So it looks to me like you've been dealing with, and when I say you've been, I'm talking about during the time frame from the 17th to the 23rd. You've been dealing with a situation where things just aren't exactly falling into place for you like you wish they would, and you feel like you're really not in control. You feel like it's outside influences that are impacting whether things are falling into place for you or not. But you're having, right in the middle of all this, you're having this huge epiphany and you're understanding. I think you're having this understanding about where you let your power go and why things aren't going the way you want them to. And as you get that clarity, that is really empowering because that gives you a chance to make some changes to get things flowing more smoothly and to put you back in charge of your own life. Good things there. Very good things there. So what's going on at the same time? This is interesting. You guys have some kind of confusion going on about something that you've already paid off that should be a dead done deal because you've already paid it off. But somehow there's some confusion going on about that. Now if there's confusion and you know you already paid it off and it's a dead done deal that should be in your past, then that confusion is coming in because somebody else is saying, where's the payment? Where's the next payment? You still owe. So I think you're going to have to deal with that confusion. That may be a part of how you're feeling like you're not in control or like things aren't going the way that you want them to. But you're going to have to take care of that. You're going to have to show receipts for what you've paid. So if you're watching this ahead of time, keep your receipts. Keep your proof of payment, especially if you pay something off or pay a significant payment on something. All right, what else is happening at the same time? Same time you're getting this epiphany about why things are going so rough for you right then, right now. It looks like there's some kind of betrayal that comes into play here. Either friends, family, possibly partner, but there's some kind of betrayal that shows up here. And this betrayal is something that really is disappointing to you. I'm not sure it surprises you. It's interesting. It doesn't feel like it surprises you, but it does disappoint you. I think that you knew that this person wasn't beyond this, but you were hoping that they were better than this. So there is this sense of betrayal, this sense of disappointment, and then your reaction to that, which is holding your feelings back, not sharing them. Sharing your feelings. You're sort of closing yourself off to this person. Once that betrayal comes in, you're not sharing what you think or what you feel with this person anymore. You're kind of done with that. So where do we see you at the end of this time frame? This is interesting. I see you as being really independent, of doing your own thing. Maybe you have a sideline thing that you're working on, a sideline business. Maybe you're just doing your own thing because it's a great hobby and you're enjoying it. I think you're not working. You're not doing that work that you're scheduled to do. You're not doing that work that you normally do, but you're doing this hobby thing, or you're doing this thing that's on the side. You're definitely paying attention to that. And there is some unhappiness that comes in around work with this idea that you're not working. There's some unhappiness there. And I think it's because of that unhappiness with this situation where you're not working that you're taking that energy and you're channeling it into, well, you know, if I can't go to work for somebody else, I'm going to do my own thing. That's not going to keep me from making money. I'm still going to bring in income. That's where we see you here. Okay. So, this looks like a challenging time, I have to say. But I don't see it getting the best of you. I don't see anything here that makes me worry this time. I see you guys handling it, which is really nice. Really nice. Okay, so Aries, let me go ahead and wrap this up, take another little break, and then I'll come back and we'll finish out the month. See you soon. Hello there, Aries. Welcome back. This is our last time around for this month. We're looking at September 24th through the 30th. This is a week. It starts on the 30th and rolls around through the next Wednesday. I meant to say it starts on a Thursday, not the 30th. It starts on a Thursday, rolls around through the next Wednesday. Anyway, we're just going to shuffle these cards up a little bit, put them down, and see what the main themes are coming up for you in your world during that time frame. All right, so I want to say let's take a peek, but I'm still shuffling. I think you guys have a lot going on during that time frame for me to still be shuffling this long. That's generally how that works, generally speaking. I keep thinking, okay, just 2 more shuffles, and then I get to 2 more shuffles, and it doesn't feel right yet. It doesn't feel complete. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, Aries, 24th to the 30th of September. La da la da da da. La da 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 da. Okie dokie, guys. Let's look at your environment first. Remember, environment is any place you have energy or effort invested. You're definitely putting some work into your environment, and I think you're really impatient to start to see progress there. And there's something that you have cut out of your environment too. To me, it feels like you're cutting out distractions. You are so impatient to see forward progress that you just don't have time for anybody who's going to distract you from your work and keep you, get you off target. And so you're cutting out any and all distractions, and you're just impatient to see this work pay off in your environment. All right, next thing we're looking at talks to me about subconscious leanings during this time frame, Aries. Okay. So, there's some kind of truth that's come up. And your subconscious is working on it. And it has something to do with your money or your financial situation. It looks to me like you're feeling like you don't have enough money to do all the things that you want to do or all the things that you need to do. And with your subconscious, you're working on, okay, well, what's the truth about the way that I can actually expand my income? Because I have a cash flow problem and I need to improve. So I don't have a cash flow problem. I need to loosen up my budget. What can I do for that? So that's what your subconscious is working on. And it's working on something that is very real and that is very tangible, not something that is just kind of hinky, not some kind of ad on YouTube that says, if you do what I do, you're going to make 10,000 gazillion billion dollars in 3 hours. You know, you're looking at very real ways to increase your cash flow. Something that is, like I said, not hinky. All right, and that's what you're looking at with your subconscious. La da 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 da. What are we learning about and how are we communicating? Aries, I really think it's on your mind that you want to build an empire. And I am not mincing words, and I am not laughing at you. I love it. I want to build an empire. Why wouldn't Aries want to build an empire? But I think that, yes, you're definitely you're learning on, okay, what can you do to take some steps towards building your empire? Or if you've already got an empire, you're looking at how can I expand the empire? I think you're even checking out astrology on how you can use astrology to your advantage in this. Yes, yes, yes. And I think you're also asking Sacred Spirit for help, or the Divine for help, whatever name you want to put on that higher power. Okay? La da 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 da, communication style. What's going on here? I think that you're communicating with people really quickly. There's a lot of messages going back and forth, encouragement, upliftment, inspiring. I think you're inspiring the people around you. I think you're also reminding people of the ideas from the past that maybe they've forgotten about, that they need to dig up and start to work with again. You are definitely being somebody who is a leader. You've got people who are coming to you for advice or for mentorship. And so you're feeling that burden or that responsibility of being that leader that people are calling on to show them the way. That's communication for that time frame, 24th to the 30th. Okay, what's next? Next is work. Work, work. What do you guys have coming up for work this time around? Oh, your plates are full. There's a lot going on your plate whenever it comes to work. You've got some great ideas. You've got some really great ideas you'd like to move forward with. And I think that work is just a sense of relief for you. The focus on work is a sense of relief for you. It may be that your personal life is kind of stressful, so going to work and doing something where you know that you can make progress and you can see your progress and measure your progress is kind of a relief to you right now. What's your inner work, Aries? Your inner work really is trying to balance things out and not have your energy scattered. Your inner work is to honor those good and inspiring ideas that you have and yet still stay grounded. Very nice, very nice. Finding balance. Finding balance. Alrighty, what's next? That part of your personality which is being grown or expanded right now. Aries, you're walking away from something that was making you feel depleted or empty. You may actually even literally be moving. And I think if this looks like to me, you're moving or you're walking away from this situation because you feel like if you don't, then there's just going to be a massive explosion. And so you're feeling like if I don't move away from this situation, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. And so you're moving before it gets ugly. And that sort of saves things. That keeps things from blowing up. Okay. La da 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 da. Definitely doing things in a different location, but probably moving. All right, next thing that we're looking at. Talk to me about those things that you stand for. Oh, honeys. Honeys, honeys. You guys got your heart broke because of the breakup of some type of partnership. Could be a romantic partnership, could be friendship, could be a business partnership that was really important to you. And your heart's broken because there's just no future there. And somebody is coming up to you and saying something about this. You're having to actually defend that your heart is broke. Now, why would that happen? There's somebody on the outside that looks in at this and sees the two of you as being split up as, thank God, what a blessing. Why is your heart broke over this? That person was la da 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 da. Why does this bother you? Aren't you relieved? The heart is not logical, is it? Let's see how this other person views you after you have to defend yourself for being human and having a broken heart. Oh my goodness. So this is somebody from your past. This may be somebody that you've known since childhood. This is somebody who they really do care about you. Is it a romantic way of caring? I'm not sure. It could be. These cards definitely wouldn't imply that it's not, but they also don't say for sure that it is either. This is somebody who is looking at this situation from the outside looking in, who's being very logical. All right, and their logical viewpoint of this is that this person that you're not with anymore, that person, they just feel like that person wasn't worth your time. And it's from the outside looking in. You know, usually we can't see the forest for the trees, but when we're a helicopter above and we've got the big picture, and that's kind of where they are. They're in the helicopter above. They've got the big picture. And with the big picture, they don't understand why there's any heartbreak involved for you at this point. They think that other person was lucky to have you in their lives, and they should be the heartbroken one. All right. Let's look at your flex point here. If you didn't already have a flex point when you walked away from that thing when it was depleting you, that's kind of a big deal, I think. Yep. Okay. Flex point here. Going back to being single. Going back to finding your own happiness independently. Going back to being single. If you're somebody that's in a committed partnership, and this isn't about a love relationship that you've walked away from, this is going back to doing something independently, maybe in business. Maybe you used to have a friend that you always hung out with. This is going back to doing things on your own and finding out that you're quite self-sufficient, like you've got this. All right? I mean, you're happy. You're actually happy like this. It's an interesting contrast. You went from heartbreak to happy pretty fast. I have to say, Aries, I'm a little surprised. Okay, at the same time that this is going on, oh yeah, this makes me think that this is probably leaning more for romance for most of you than friendship or business. There's somebody who is no longer the queen of your heart or the king of your heart. They don't sit on the throne of your heart anymore. That's a done deal. That's a done deal. You're seeing them in a more negative aspect than what you did before. In a more, spirit saying, negative / realistic aspect than you did before. Even just thinking about this person just doesn't make you happy anymore. So what else is going on? You're happily gone back to being single. Thinking about that other person doesn't even make you happy anymore. And what else is happening? Oh my God. It is definitely over. Like you aren't even fighting with this person anymore. Nope. You're not putting any energy or effort into that relationship anymore. Done. Done. Done, done, done. All right, Aries, let's see where you are once you get towards the end of this week. You do have a trickster showing up in your sphere of influence here. Somebody who's not honest, somebody who's trying to get you to play along with their game, but they're not coming at you in a genuine way with integrity. And it looks to me like you can see the truth. You can see right through their ulterior motives. And I think you are, I don't think you're attacking them. Remember, we said you're not fighting anymore. You are running straight for the hills, like you're headed for the hills, man. Bye-bye, trickster. Bye-bye, liar. I'm not even talking to you. I'm not even dealing with you. I see your silliness 10 miles away, and I am out of here. Can't touch this. Okay? And you're picking up responsibilities somewhere else. You may be starting another relationship just that fast. For some of you, you could be with this card that I've got in front of me. You could be running fast and furious away from the trickster straight into the next relationship. Could be. Could be. Kind of looks like it. That was fast, Aries. That was fast. All right, so that wraps up your month. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate you guys spending so much of your valuable time with me. Thank you also for the thumbs ups on this video and for sharing this with as many people as you think it might be helpful for. On top of that, thank you to all of you who are ordering private readings from me, whether they're the 1 or 2 question pre-recorded or they're the live readings, either one. Or if you're ordering Reiki sessions from me or Reiki candles from me, thank you. It is because of all of you guys at every level of your support that I'm able to do what I love to do for my living. So I do appreciate it very much. Thank you to all of you. And if I don't see you for a private reading sometime during the month, then I will see you back here on the next video. Peace out, everybody.